Happy crafternoon, everyone. I'm Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all around the world. I love our crafternoons because a lot of our European and Australian friends get to join us because it is evening there and they can make it too. Sometimes our night ones, it's in the middle of the night and they can't make it. So hello, everybody. Glad to see you. Today we're going to have some fun because I've been following along in our Facebook group and people have been asking me to use this die here, this medallion die, there we go, this one from the Master Layouts 14 die set. So today I thought I would I'm going to try to do 2 cards. We'll see how much time I have. I know I'll get one in, but I'm going to use this die today and show you how to use it. So before we get started, let's say hello to Tom. I'm so glad you're here, Tom.
Happy crafternoon, everybody.
How are you?
I am better than horrible.
No flat tires to deal with today?
No, just we're expecting big snows, spring snows here tomorrow,
I know.
Right?
It's been so nice here. I guess we deserve it, right?
No. Of course not.
Up to 8 inches of snow.
Yeah, wow.
So with that in mind, for those of you that are watching and you are our customers, there's a chance that customer service may be closed tomorrow, depending on the weather. We go by the school district, and if the school district is closed, we tell our staff to stay home as well. We don't want anybody getting hurt to come to work, so hopefully it won't be that bad and the roads will be cleared, but I don't think so. They're talking about starting at 1 a.m. and snowing all the way until 3 o'clock the next day, Friday. So, you know, it's all right. It's going to be the last one, so it's going to be fine. I'm making that prediction. What do you think, Tom?
As they say in Wisconsin, there you go.
There you go. All right, well, let's get started with today's video. Oh, Tom, do you have a word of the day coming up later?
I might.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yes.
All right, good. So, for those of you that haven't seen it, this is the Master Layouts 14 die set. Ooh, why am I so close? And where did my remote go? Tom, I don't have a remote over here. Did you take my remote, maybe? Maybe Tom took my remote. Maybe. Okay, he did. So let me zoom out just a little bit here so that we're not so close. There we go. Now our Master Layouts dies don't come on magnets, but I always buy extra magnets from Stamp & Storage, and I store a lot of different dies on these magnets. Normally I store my Master Layouts dies in pockets like this. This is our large stamp storage pocket, and this is our small stamp storage pockets. So I store our smaller Master Layout sets in these, put the dies in the back, and I keep the insert and the large ones like this. So, but when I have a brand new one and it's in action, I keep it on a magnet right in front of me so that I don't lose the pieces on my desktop. I'm going to be using this today, and I may be using some of these strip sentiment dies that go with it. I think that I have a card idea in mind, and we'll see actually what comes out. Now, I did mention that I was going to mix old and new, so I'm going to bring out an old stamp set that you guys know that I love. I've used it many times. This is Elegant Asters, and I've used this, I don't know, about 500,000 times in videos. This is what it looks like. It's a beautiful set. You can see mine is very well loved. I'll probably be using the butterfly and maybe the smaller flowers and some leaves today if I get both cards done. I'm going to make the pieces and then we'll see what happens. And then I'm going to also be using a new set. So mixing old and new, I'm going to be using Lovely Lace because I want to use some of these greetings. And I feel like today I could either make a wedding card or a Mother's Day card or an Easter card, depending on how this all plays out. So let's get started. Now I'm going to cut one of these to show you how nicely it cuts. I'm going to be using my Intracut die cutting machine today. And I have that right here. So let me get that into the mix. Now this die set, the Master Layouts dies are so nice. They cut so nicely. This is a bit more of an intricate die. So I did dial up my side dial on my Intracut to +3, but I probably don't even need it to be that high. But why not, right? If we can cut it so that it cuts beautifully the first time, why not? I have it on my cutting mat and I'm laying the platform on top, and I'm going to go ahead and run that through. Okay. So you can see that cut out completely. And then I'm going to just use my pokey tool, my pick and stick tool. A lot of you are asking when this is coming back in stock. We have reordered it, but we reordered it right around the time where this comes from China. All pick and stick tools, all jewel pickers come from China. And we ordered it right when they were on their Chinese New Year. So it should be coming soon, and I'm excited to get them back in stock. Okay, so there it is. Look at how beautiful that is. Oh, I love that. Is the tidy towel okay to use in distilled water? Sure. Yeah, absolutely you can use distilled water. There's no problem. My tidy towel, it is so rugged. I throw mine in the wash with hot water and detergent. I have several of them, and I just wash them every once in a while because it makes them nice and fresh. So, sorry, Tom. That was a little loud, huh? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of cardstock here to, let's do 4 1/4 by, oh, that's a little shy there. Let's do 5 1/4 by 4. Let's cut this side off because this isn't quite as pretty over here on this side. Okay. Now I am definitely going to trim this down again, but this is the size that I want to start working on. So for my first card, I'm going to create a couple of backgrounds here, and then we're going to turn them into cards using some of the Elegant Asters. Let me get my Misty. So for my first card, I am going to emboss a design, and I'm going to use this image here from the Lovely Lace stamp set. Now I'm thinking for this card, I want to do a white on white look. And I think that that will be really pretty. When you do white on white, it kind of looks like an embossing folder. I have to plug in my embossing tool here. Okay, it's all plugged in. So it kind of looks like an embossing folder, but I think we're going to actually do a little ink blending over it to jazz it up a bit. So I'm going to get my white embossing powder here, and then I'm going to use my embossing magic pad and just rub that over the surface of this cardstock right here. Then I'm going to use this larger one. I've already made a card with the smaller one, but I'm going to use this larger one. And this really does look like lace, especially when you do it white on white. It's so pretty.
Question from Shirley.
Yes.
Gina, is there any other flower you recommend to use if we don't have that one you are using?
I would just say any flower or any butterfly, because I'm probably going to use the butterfly too. So any flower or butterfly set that you have that you can cut out is totally fine. I don't know off the top of my head, but gosh, we have so many. So just pick your favorite flower set and your favorite butterfly. As long as it has a coordinating die, you can use it. All right, so I'm going to get some Embossing and Watermark Ink. I'm trying to think, what was the last one that I used? I used the Spring Blessings. That would work because it's got beautiful flowers. You could substitute the bird for the butterfly. You could use beautiful butterflies. You could use a year of flowers. boy, there's just so many. But any flower set will work. Okay, so we're going to create this lace pattern on the background, and you can see I did it just on the one side. And I'm going to, you can use your sleeve or your Chucky tool, whatever you have.
Are there coordinating dies for these floral stamps?
For the floral stamps in Elegant Asters, yes. Not for the lovely lace. This large design was made to use for backgrounds. But for Elegant Asters, yes, there is, and that's what I'm going to be using today. I'm going to be cutting them out. Okay, so I'm going to add that embossing powder on here. Oh, that looks so pretty. And then I'm going to emboss that. Now, once I emboss it, you might be able to see, and if you wanted to do white on white, it would be quite beautiful. Especially for a wedding card. You can see it?
Yep.
Oh, good. It is so pretty, this white on white look. You can also do this gold on gold, silver on silver.
Suggestion in the future for a card project using your ivory cardstock.
Sure. And just keep in mind, if you like ivory better than white, you can do anything that I do on white on ivory. So it would just have a softer, more warm toned look. Isn't that pretty on there? It's just so elegant. Okay, so we want to make sure that that is cool before I put my magnet back on that. And now I flipped it and put the design part that I just did up in the corner. And then I'm going to do it down at the opposite corner. Okay. I tend to use ivory more in the fall. A lot of my cards in the fall, you'll see me pull out the ivory cardstock. But when it's spring and summer, I love that bright white. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing again on this side. Looking good. Okay. And we're going to emboss that. Now, while I have the embossing powder out, I am going to also emboss some of those designs from the Elegant Asters set. But you can see how pretty that is. That just gives you that really nice little bit of texture in the background. All right, let me get another plain piece of white cardstock here. And I'm going to clean up this stamp and put it away. And then we'll get the Elegant Asters out. Okay, so I'm only going to use the smaller flowers for this. So I'm going to do 3 of them. So I'll put these all on here. First, I'm going to use my embossing magic pad.
Was that white or clear embossing?
This is white embossing powder. But you can use clear embossing powder because it's going to give you the same exact look. So if all you have is clear, if you're doing it on white, it's just going to kind of capture the white behind it. All right, so I'm going to do these like that. Do those first. So let's pick all of these up. So I'm using the 2 smaller flowers and all of the leaf images. Okay. These are kind of dirty stamps because I've had these in our collection for years and years and years and years. And I've used them so much with so many different colors of ink and embossing powder and all kinds of things that they are very well loved and very well stained, as you can see. But you know what? It's okay. Oh, I did have one more leaf in there that I could have used. I didn't see that. I don't know why I didn't see that. I might add that. I have to do one more anyway because I need to do one more small flower, so might as well do them. Now, these are going to be a little hard to see until we actually get to the ink blending, and then you'll see how beautiful these all look. So let's do these first, since they're done. We'll emboss these. It's so funny, I get like on different technique kicks. I don't know if you guys do this too, but I'll be all excited about heat embossing, and then I'll make like, I don't know, 3 or 4 videos where I'm just using a lot of heat embossing within a short period of time. And then I get into something else. It might be stenciling or ink blending, and I'll do a whole bunch of videos on that. I go in waves, and I love bringing those old ones back again because you forget how fun they are. All right, so I'm going to clean these stamps again.
Diana is asking, how do you pronounce your maiden name?
Aurelio. Gina Maria Aurelio. That was my birth name. My dad taught me that. I used to say Aurelio, and he said, that is not how you say your name. I don't want to hear you say it like that ever again. And he said, it's Aurelio. So I'm trying to say it right in honor of my father, who never liked the more English pronunciation of that name. Okay, I do have, let's see, I think I can get it over here. You know what? I'm going to use a different piece of white, and here's why. I'm going to be doing ink blending, and that's going to be a lot of gymnastics trying to fit that in there. So let me find one more little piece of white cardstock. Here's a small piece. I'm just going to trim that something off of that. Here we go. I think this is going to be easier for me. And you know what? While I'm here, I'm going to also do the butterfly. Look at how dirty this butterfly is. It's not dirty, it's just stained. Okay. So, once again, did I do this already? I can't even remember. I think I did, but better safe than sorry, right? Oh, happy birthday, Mary! Leftovers all week? Maybe he can cook. No? Is that a no? Should I not even say that? He can heat up the leftovers. That'll work. Okay. So we're going to make this a very light, springy card today. And you can see a little bit of my ink stain, but that's okay. It's going to get all covered up with this white powder, so it doesn't matter. There we go. Okay, we're going to be done heat embossing. I love bringing out the old stamp sets and mixing them with what's new. It really stretches your supplies, and it makes you realize that just because you got something new doesn't mean you can't go back and use the old, and it's great to find ways to use them together. You know, and stamp companies truly have a style. And I think Gina K Designs has a very specific style. At least I know my kits kind of have a specific style, the ones that I do. And they mix and match so well together. And I feel that with like Lisa's sets mix and match well, Melanie's sets, all of our illustrators. They do a great job of really showcasing their style and how you can build upon what you already have in your collection. Okay, so let's put this embossing powder away and try not to get to be too much of a powdery mess. I'll tell you, I was working with a blending brush in my last video that had embossing powder all over it, so I wasn't very neat about it. I'm going to try to be a little neater today by cleaning up some of this mess. There we go. Okay, so here are our designs right here, and we're going to do a little bit of ink blending on these. So I want to use some Innocent Pink ink on the butterfly and the flowers. I have an Innocent Pink blending brush here, but I also am going to get a pink tiny blending brush, and I may enhance that with, let me find it here. Oh no, all these are gonna fall all over, but just give me a second. I didn't think of this earlier, and these aren't very well organized over here. Some medium carnation, or maybe some dark carnation if I can find that color. Give me a sec. Sorry for the mess. Tom, where is my dark carnation? I guess you don't know, huh? Here it is. I feel like dark carnation might be a little bit better. These work really beautifully together, but I think I want to just enhance the centers with the dark. Okay, so we're going to start with the Innocent Pink. We could use light carnation if you don't have Innocent Pink. But Innocent Pink is just a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more orangey. So I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to just blend that over this butterfly.
Who gets the awesome job of getting to name the ink colors?
Ooh, that's all me. I get that job. And I love that job. That is so fun. And I'm sure that if you guys look at our ink colors, you understand that I was probably hungry during most of the naming because everything is food. Isn't that pretty? Look how nice that looks. That's really pretty. And I like doing this kind of ink blending on embossed images before you die cut them, because then you don't have a white edge on the die cutting. You actually have this soft light colored edge. Now I'm going to take this dark carnation and just grab a little bit of it, and I'm going to just work that into the center a little bit. Just to enhance the center of that butterfly. And then once I get a paper towel and I rub that all off, now it's a little bit deeper in the center of the butterfly. So you want to wipe it off the embossing powder. It's just going to sit on top because embossing powder isn't porous. Okay, now I'm going to do this flower the same way. Just get a nice coat of that Innocent Pink on top. This truly is one of my favorite spring pinks. And then we'll get a little bit of this dark carnation in the center. I'm actually going to take this brush and just move that around a little bit, like that, and then wipe it away. And you can kind of see how it's just darker in spots inside those petals close to the center. Let's do the same thing with these two other flowers, and then we'll do some greens. I have all of my regular line of colors in my ink pad holder, and I need another ink pad holder for all of the trio colors that we have. They're just stacked, so that's why it sounds like everything is falling when I'm trying to find like the orchids or the spruces. And I know people always ask, are you going to do more? Yes, we are going to do more. All right, now I'm going to add that darker color in the center and then just brush over it with the bigger brush. And that just moves it out a little bit. It makes it blend a little better. Same with this. You know, you don't want it to be too circular, so if you move it a little bit, kind of blends it out a little bit. It's a bigger flower. I like that. Let's move this around a little bit too. Okay, very pretty. I think we need a little more on here. You know, sometimes if you look at something that you already did and then it looks lighter, it's because the colors dry up to the colors they're supposed to be, so they will get just a bit lighter as they dry. Now I think I'm going to use some of the spruce colors. Let's see, we've got light spruce and Where is the dark spruce? Ooh, that might be too dark. Let's go to the medium spruce. I think these two colors are going to look nice for the leaves. Yes, the stamp set that I'm using is Elegant Asters. A-S-T-E-R-S. Elegant Asters. So I'm going to use a smaller blending brush and then the tiny blending brush for these, because these are a little bit smaller. And I'm going to start with the light spruce.
Okay, Amanda wants to know, why do inks stain my stamps?
Depends on the ink. Gina K Designs inks don't stain too badly unless you don't clean them, then they will stain. And there are certain colors that are very stainy. So in our collection, we have a few colors that are very stainy. Our neon inks are very stainy. Cherry red is very stainy. Black can be stainy if you don't clean it, but our black is pretty good if you clean it right away. It depends on the ink. I mean, certain companies have different formulas. I know that people like to say, oh, all the inks come from the same place, and they're not the same. We work very closely with the chemist at the ink manufacturer to create inks that have certain properties that we want in our inks, and we're all unique. So, you know, each one is very unique. Also, pigment inks, like black pigment inks, like VersaFine, those kinds of inks, they will definitely stain your stamps. There's nothing you're going to do about that. I know there are some brands out there that use hybrid formulas. They still come in these kinds of cases, but they're different formulas. And they definitely are more stainy than water-based dye ink. So that could be the reason. The good thing is that a stained stamp will work just as good as a brand new stamp as long as you clean it, you wash it. That doesn't mean that the stain is going to go away, but it won't transfer anymore. So now I'm using some medium spruce. Just going to get it down here near the bottom. Down here. Work my way up. Down here. Kind of sticking, you know, closer into the center here. I don't know that you're going to see too much on that because they're really tiny. But we'll clean those and then we'll die cut these. And I think they're going to look really pretty. Isn't that a nice color combination? That innocent pink with that spruce green. The spruces just don't have that yellow in it the way the, it doesn't, well, I mean, all greens have yellow, but it doesn't have that same kind of yellowiness that jelly bean green and fresh asparagus have. It has a lot more blue in it. And when you put blue into it, that's where you get that pine color. So, all right, so we'll start with this, and we're going to cut these out. And welcome, everybody. I see lots of people coming in. I hope that you're having a great day and that you're here to enjoy a little bit of lunch hour with us. Our Stamp and Chat, although some people are coming from places that it's not lunch hour, it's bedtime. But it is great to see you. I am finding a piece of Masking Magic strip because that's what I like to use to tack my dies down.
Shirley wants to know, how do you store those blending stumps?
The blending stumps? You mean the blending brushes? I use, this is something I got at Crop and Create. If you want to go to the front shot, Tom. This is something I got at Crop and Create. I took the event and this was one of their free gifts. So I put them in here for now. We're actually working on a new brush holder for these. But this is what I use right now. And it works really well for these brushes. I'm not a fan of using it for these brushes though. I find that they pop out, like I'll be like working and they just jump out. I don't know why. and you touch them and they pop out, but they work great for this. So I think Simon Says Stamp sells one like this too. In fact, I know they do because I have one, and theirs is a little bit more teal color. It's more like my shirt color, so that works really nicely. I can link that, actually. I will link that for you in the description here on YouTube. I'm going to cut this one out first because it's so inky that I just don't want my masking magic to pop up. But that's how I store my little brushes. And while I'm looking for a different solution, we might be changing our brush holders completely. Okay, look at that. Now you see you don't have that white edge around the outside because of that blending, and I think that's so soft and pretty. So let's do the next couple. We'll get these done, and I am putting my dies back.
So Gina, a few questions. A few of our international friends have asked where they can get your stuff. You post on the website.
Yes, we have a tab on our website called Our Retailers. And you can find all of our retail partners there. And all of our international retailers are on there as well. So depending on where you're from, we've got retailers all over the world. Now, not all of our retailers choose to carry all of our stuff. We can't make them. That's kind of there are people that will say to me, why don't you sell your master layouts to my store? It's not that I won't sell the master layouts to your store. It's your store has to want to carry the master layouts. So what I would suggest is if you have a local store, ask them to carry our products. Tell them what you want, what you like, and ask them to be a retailer with us. And I'm sure that if they know that they have a customer for the product, that they will carry the product. You know, I don't know that everybody knows about us. And so we've had customers tell their local store that they wanted us to be in their store, and they've started carrying our line, and they've had great success with it. But sometimes they just don't know about it, especially international accounts, because a lot of international accounts, like our European friends, they carry a lot of European brands because they don't, you know, it's cheaper for shipping and stuff. But we have a lot of European accounts that do carry our stuff, and we're really grateful for that. Okay, so I am just kind of turning this die around, trying to find the right spot to cut it out. They're not too bad. They're pretty easy to figure out. I'm going to do these two flowers first. But we don't get to tell, that's the one thing, we don't get to tell people that they have to carry our brand. They have to want it. But we ship worldwide too, which is great. So there isn't anybody out there that can't get our stuff. But if you go to our website, there is a tab on the top of our website that says Our Retailers. And that will give you a full list of all of our retailers. I believe it starts with all of the retailers that are in the United States. And then if you keep scrolling down, then it goes to other countries, and you'll be able to find everybody. So your store might be on there. Oh, that one's so pretty, isn't it? Your store might be on there, but if it's not on there, I highly recommend that you just reach out to them and say, hey, this is a brand that I like. Maybe direct them to my YouTube videos so that they can see what we do, and we would love to have them as a customer. We would love to be in your country. We really would. It does make it easier for us if we have retailers there. It makes it easier for you. You don't have to deal with any of the potential VAT tax or anything like that. So we love our international partners, and we're very, very grateful for them, all of them. All right, my last batch. Here we go. Hoping for the best. Oh, I'm glad you guys like the colors. Yeah, I think this is going to be fun. So, you know, one thing that you can do, I see somebody saying that they struggle, you know, to find the right direction for the dies. Let me show you a little trick. I don't think I have a Sharpie here, but I'll tell you the little trick. So what I would do is I would Stamp the flower in the direction that you see it on the index sheet, right? Stamp it onto your cardstock and put a little black Sharpie dot on the stamp itself on the flat side. Okay, and that way you know it's straight up and down. Always stamp the flower in that same orientation. And then once you find the right orientation for the die, you know, once you kind of move things around and you find it, then put a Sharpie dot right on the die. So this way you know, okay, I'm stamping my stamp in that direction and I just have to put my die down at where the Sharpie dot is at the top. And that will help you. So you'll only have to really be on the struggle bus the first time. And hopefully that will help. Okay, let's see what we can come up with now. So the next thing I want to do is I want to add a little bit of Innocent Pink to this, because although I love that plain white there, I think bringing in a little pink would be nice and soft. It would be really pretty on the edges of this. And I am going to cut this down anyway. So we'll do that. We'll start with that. We'll bring it in from the side here. Got a few little black specks in there, but we'll bring it in just to bring out the design a little bit. And we'll fade to nothingness. And then we'll do that on the other side too. See, it's just like a mist of color. These pinks are so pretty. I love the peach. Anything that's got that little hint of orange in it is so nice. Very springy. And I think it's perfect for a wedding or for Mother's Day. I think some of our friends, our international friends, have already had their Mother's Day maybe, or it's coming up closer. Do you guys already have it? I know that's not like a worldwide. Some things are not worldwide, like Thanksgiving in Canada, I think is in October, if I'm not mistaken. Do you guys call it Boxing Day, or is that something different? I gotta learn all the holidays. Okay, so you can see you've got that nice little mist of color coming in. So now let's cut this panel out with Master Layouts 2. Love the lacy look. Yeah, me too. So pretty. Okay. Let's find Master Layouts 2. I think I just showed it a minute ago, and then where did I put it? Oh my. Here it is. So I'm going to use the stitched die, and the reason why I didn't do this up front is because, number one, you know, if you mess up around the edges or the edges get too dark, you know you're going to be cutting that out. And that just gives you a little bit of wiggle room, a little bit of play room. Plus, you're not trying to emboss and stamp over stitching, which doesn't always stick. Okay. So we'll do that. Sometimes with these bigger dies, I actually like to flip it over. Sometimes. There we go. To give it a little shove in there because my plate is getting a little warpy and I think it's time for me to put it back in the hot water. I was sharing that if you put your plates in hot water, like really scalding hot water in your sink, they just flatten right out. It's pretty amazing, actually. You could throw it in a baking dish with some water that you microwaved or something. Okay, so now we've got that. That's really nice. And then I'm going to do a black panel to match. So let's do a black panel. I think I'm going to get both cards in today. I know it doesn't seem like it because it seems like this is taking a long time, but I've done a lot of prep work for both cards with the images, so I think we're going to be good. We'll see. Because I have another idea that I really want to show you, so I'm hoping that I can get it in. Maybe. I I don't need this to be quite so tight for my second layer. Boxing Day comes from...
That's the day after Christmas.
Boxing Day is the day after Christmas?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I guess it's just Thanksgiving? Okay, I gotta learn. Tom, we need to do that. We should, like, figure out all the international holidays, because then we could do cards, you know, for our international friends, too, at the right time. It's no fun doing only Thanksgiving cards for our Thanksgiving when other countries have their own dates for Thanksgiving. Alrighty, so we got that done. This is coming back. Okay, so now let's put these two panels together like this. Let me get my tape. Now I have to figure out what greeting I'm going to use first. Oh, this is going to be really pretty. And then I'm thinking that I will layer up two of these together and put that right in the center, or maybe even a little above center. And I'll lay out these flowers around it. Ooh, you know what else we could do? Oh, I have even another idea. Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna just use one. I know this is scary, and I'm gonna cut it in half. Okay, so I'm gonna just decide how big this is. So this is like 3 1/8 inches. So I'm gonna cut it down at about 1.5 inches. It'll be fine. I'm gonna really just use the center of, can you see that? The center of that circle. I'm gonna try to get that centered onto the, let's see if I can do it this way. Yeah, it's not gonna matter. So you can't really make it symmetrical around the outside, but this will be fine. We're gonna cut this in half and see how it works. This won't be the last one I cut today. Okay, and then I'm thinking that we can divide this out a little bit like that, and then we can use one of these dies with the greeting on it to go across the center. And I'm gonna cut this big so that I can slice it down. So let's do that. Let's see, will Happy Easter fit on here? Oh yeah, it should fit on there. So let's stamp Happy Easter. We'll make this an Easter card. I should probably stamp like both greetings right now too. Let's make an Easter card and a Mother's Day card. Is that gonna fit? I don't know if that's gonna fit. I'm maybe with a Mother's Day card, with one of the bigger greetings, I would have to turn it this way. And I'm not going to do that today. So I'll make a Happy Easter and a Thinking of You. No, I'm going to do Happy Mother's Day. I'll turn it. Okay, we're going to stamp these in black on white. And I need another piece of white cardstock. I've been trying to organize my scraps with the new color labels. Ooh, and good news, the color labels are here, so we're going to be restocking them this week as well. Or I should say for our release, which is next Tuesday, we're going to be restocking the color labels as well. So I know some of you guys have been waiting for those, so that's exciting. Okay, Easter and Mother's Day, two wonderful spring occasions. Oh yeah, the wedding too. On your wedding day. Yeah, any of these would work. These are great greetings. I'm going light, and I'm going to give it one more stamping here. There we go. Okay. Got our greetings. So a lot of stuff going on. Let's put these over here. Oh my gosh. I just saw myself just toss those stamps, and now I know I'm going to lose them. I already know. Already know I'm going to lose them. Be looking for them. And then we're going to stamp. We're going to cut Happy Easter out like this, and we're going to cut Happy Mother's Day out like this, but we're going to use the smaller dies. These are our bigger layer dies. So let's find that die set. Here they are. These are the dies we need. Okay, here comes the die cutting machine again. Holy cow. You can see I don't know what I'm doing until I do it, which is why there's no rhyme or reason, but it all works. So we'll get Happy Easter here and make sure that's straight, and we'll tape that down. And then Happy Mother's Day. I don't think we need one this big, but I don't think it's going to matter. We're going to trim the whole thing down anyway. So we can cut them together at least. You know, where do I get my ideas from? That is a good question. And okay, am I the only person that dreams about stamping? Because I do. I dream about stamping. And I don't know if you guys do too, but do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, oh my gosh, I just had the greatest idea, and you just want to get out of bed and go try it? Well, I have been known to get out of bed and go try it, but I'm trying to be better about that and just maybe write it down, you know? I'm going to cut these out too. Again, this is a smaller piece of cardstock, but it's not really going to matter that much because I'm just going for a background here. I know this looks a little sloppy, but you'll get the idea once I finish this up. I am actually going to pull my card base off of what I just did, and so you'll be able to see. So there's one, there's the other one. Dies are going in the pile with the stamps, and hopefully nothing gets lost in this process. But I dream about stamping. I don't know. I try really hard to not watch other people's YouTube videos because I really don't, you know, I really want to try to come up with my own things. And I've been stamping for a really long time, so a lot of my ideas are things that I've done way in the past. And then you just think, well, how can I change that up and put a twist on it, do something a little bit different, a little more interesting, make it a little more modern. And, you know, things just happen. Okay, so now I'm going to layer these two together. This is a little tricky. There we go. That's layered together. Now I am going to take this off of here. And then I'm going to put this right in the center of this card so that the words are centered. Happy Easter. Just so that I know where that's going to be. And now I'm going to take a little bit of Connect glue. Let me see. Where's my good Connect glue? Here it is. And I'm going to put one of these on top and one of these on the bottom like this. So it's going to look kind of like it's more of an oval than a circle. Now I could bring him in just a little bit closer. So I might do that, just a little bit closer. So then I can put this on top and cover the center. So it's not quite a circle, it's more of an oval. Let's do that. So I'm going to use Connect glue for that. You don't have to put glue every single spot, just kind of make sure it goes around the perimeter and then a few spots in the middle, any areas that you don't want popping up. But it doesn't have to be everything. You don't have to have a solid amount of glue. Okay, so we'll put that right about here. Center it to the best of our ability. So this is kind of our grounding panel. And when I say that, I mean I'm going to put the flowers over it. Okay. Getting that glue on there. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Right about there. That looks pretty centered. There we go. And then this is going to cover up that, so I need to just press that down for a second, because remember, we're putting this over embossing powder, so it's not like paper where the glue and the paper just kind of get absorbed. You're putting it on top of something that isn't porous, so you do need to press just a little bit. And now I'm going to put tape on the back of this, and we're going to tape this right in the center. Happy Easter. There we go. Okay. That looks pretty good. Now what I'm going to do, let me wiggle this off of here. I'm going to use my scissors. And I'm just going to trim this by hand off the back, just resting my scissors close. See how I did that? Resting my scissors right up against that piece of white cardstock. So we just trim that off. And now this can go back onto this black piece of cardstock. It's still got tape on it. Tape's not totally set. So there we go. Now we can add some of these flowers. So we can have a flower here, and we can have one up here, and maybe another one. Kind of. Well, maybe we'll just do one up here, and we'll do this second one down here, and you can see this design becomes the grounding panel for these flowers. Get a little greenery on there like that. And then we can add these two down here. They'll come off the cardstock, which is totally fine. They'll come off just a little bit, maybe like that. And then we'll put that onto a card base. So this is my idea for my card. Let's use some foam squares to pop all of that up. And then I'm gonna do a quick little technique. I know it's getting late, but it's okay because it's Thursday and we're gonna have a snowstorm tomorrow. And you know, if I give you one more idea, it might be really fun to play with. So we'll put this here like that. There we go. And then we'll do the same thing down here. But I do have an idea. And I don't know it's going to be that spectacular, but the idea is kind of fun and I want to share it. Actually, the two flowers looks really cute, but you know me, I have to do threes because it doesn't feel right if it's not threes, so I am going to add that second flower. I'll just pop it a little closer. I want it to be a little closer. I'm going to add another foam square to this underneath. All right, Tom, so while I'm foam squaring here and adding a card base, do you do you have a word of the day?
A great word of the day.
Oh, you do?
Okay, so if you are up late at night watching crafting videos and you come across a blending video where they are using a color that you've never seen before. It's this out of this world color, and you're trying to find the name of the color, but you can't find the name of the color. You have experienced a UFO. Right? No. Okay, so I got a better one. So that wasn't that great. Okay. So here's one. Where do you go to learn how to blend color the right way in crafting? That, of course, is a university. Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Way back to the dead space.
Did anybody else groan?
Very humiliating. You people have no sense of humor.
All right. Oh my gosh, that is pretty funny. Very good. I like that. I like when the words of the day are crafty, though. It's fun. Okay, so here it is on the white card base. And you know what I'm going to do? Before I post a picture of this, I'm actually going to do one more leaf and put it up here because I really think that it needs it. So when you see the pictures, it's going to have one more leaf just to finish it off at the top. So expect that. That's coming. But there is my first card. Okay, so I have this other idea that I just need to execute, and I just need to try it with all of you. So I'm going to get a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to cut a 1/4 sheet here. I'm actually going to cut it a little smaller. I'm going to cut it 5 inches, no, 3 3/4 of an inch by 5 inches. Okay. All right. And then I've got a whole bunch of these cut out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with one right here in the center. Okay, this is going to take a minute, but stick with me. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on each of these spots. I might have to go back and add a tiny bit of glue when I'm all done this. And just a little bit up here. This live's going to be just a little longer, but I feel like we owe them one, Tom, because we didn't go live last Thursday. You know? So a little longer won't hurt. Okay. I try to get it all done in an hour for you, because I know some of you are here on your lunch break. So I'm going to put this one right in the center. And just pat it down. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to do another one up in this corner, like this.
Is this from Master Layouts 14?
This is Master Layouts 14, yeah. Okay. Probably don't need this much glue, but, you know, we want it to stick. So I'm going to put that right here, like this. I'm going to use more of that, don't worry. And do the same thing on the other side. Get that right in here, like that. Need a little glue under here.
That's very surprised looking.
It is. It's shocked, isn't it? Now I'm going to cut these off It's like Mickey Mouse ears. I'm going to cut these off, just lining up that white cardstock. And you could do it with like your pick and stick tool if you want. Just going to line that up right up against the blade. Okay. And then I'm going to cut those off like that. Then I'm going to cut these off on the sides. Like that. Okay. So you can see what I have going here. Now I'm going to use up these pieces on this side. I really didn't need quite as many medallions as I cut, but I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no idea what I was going to do when I got here. Okay. And we'll put that right here. Like that. And we'll do this on the other side. Sometimes it's fun. It's kind of like, it almost looks like an embossing folder a little bit, but it's much more dimensional. And because you guys have been asking me to use this, I wanted to get a couple in before our next release. You know, I didn't want to just leave you hanging. Okay. And then we're going to cut this off. We'll see how this goes. Same thing, I'm taking my pick and stick tool and I'm just getting it up against the edge of the blade there. Okay. All right. I didn't cut all the way. Let me fix that. Okay. So now we've got that pretty kind of embossed look, and I really like that. Now, if you really want to get into it more, you could add a little bit here, like this. You know, you could keep going. You don't have to stop. You could add this right here, which might be really pretty. I think I want to do it. I know it's a lot, but again, you know, one of the things some people say, ah, that's too much work. But then my thought is, this isn't work. This is a hobby. This is fun. It doesn't matter if something takes a while. This is relaxing to just play with die cuts and glue and stuff. So it doesn't matter if something takes a long time. We've got a whole library of quick and easy cards that we can make. Why not make some that kind of slow you down and just make you think and relax a little bit and just kind of, when I say think, I mean just kind of meditate, you know, while you're working. So this I'm going to cut with my scissors.
The journey.
Right, it's enjoying the journey.
So journey has to be related to a journal.
It has to be. Okay. So look at that. Isn't that pretty? Such a pretty background. So easy. Now we can do something really simple with this. I'm going to trim it down again. I might end up cutting this off, but let me just make sure that it's straight. All right, so this is pretty close. I'm just going to trim that. I want to make sure it's really straight. So I'll just go down to the 7/8 of an inch. Just a tiny bit there and a tiny bit here. Let's see. Tiny bit. There we go. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that it was nice and straight and squared off. So now I'm going to get a piece of black cardstock and I'm eyeballing this. So if this is, let's see, what is this? This is about 3 5/8. I'm going to bring it up 1/8 of an inch to 3 3/4. And that'll be a nice layer right there. And then I'll figure out where that should go. So this is 5 7/8. I'll bring that to 5. And that should fit pretty well. Pretty well. Now, if you don't want to be silly like me, you can just cut the whole thing with your Master Layouts dies. And that would have been a lot easier. Yes, it would have. So now I'm going to put Happy Mother's Day on here. If you guys can hear that, that's my pump for my diabetes telling me that I've been away from it for too long. But, you know, I've been with you guys, so it's been worth it. Now I'm going to just layer these two together. I'm just making this a very, very simple card. Very simple. I'm going to layer these two together. Happy Mother's Day. Doesn't even matter if it's perfect. And then I'm going to put this on top here, right here. This is my grounding medallion right here. And then I'm going to put on top, where did it go? Here it is. My butterfly. I'm going to pop my butterfly up. And then I'm going to put this whole thing on an innocent pink background. And this is going to bring out the pink and make it all work together. So, ignore the pump. So Happy Mother's Day, right about there. Is that where I had it? Probably should have looked before I pulled the butterfly off, but I'll just tack it down for a quick sec and see if the butterfly fills up the rest of the space. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good and pretty centered. We can lift the butterfly up a little bit. That looks pretty good. Okay. Maybe I'll go up just a hair more. I'll go up to the middle of the medallion. Happy Mother's Day. Okay. Now we're going to take the scissors again and we're going to cut right up against the edge like that and right up against the edge here like that. So Happy Mother's Day. We need our black panel. Oh my gosh, shut up. You're stressing everybody out. There's nothing wrong. Don't worry, I'm not like ready to kick the bucket or anything. But isn't that background so pretty? It looks like 3D embossing almost. I'm gonna pop this up with some foam squares. Find my 1/2-inch ones. All right, I'll use the small ones. Fine. And then we're going to tie this all in with pink and black with some embellishments and the card base. So let's get this in the center, just overlapping its little wings right over that a little bit. And then I need one piece of innocent pink. I'm going to cut it on the ground here where my paper cutter is. And then we will score it. This is a top fold card, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2 for my newbies. And we'll put this on that. See how that brings out the pink, and it's just enough pink in there. You don't have to have a lot. Okay, and now we're going to bring a little black into that butterfly with, did I clog my glue? Nope, I didn't. With some of these little metallic embellishments. I see some small black ones there, so I know I have them, so that's good. So now I'm going to do one for the head, and then I'm going to do just a couple down here. I don't know where they're going to end up, so let's do a medium-sized one for the head. right there. And then we'll put a couple of tiny ones on the body. I gotta dig these out. Here's one more. And you can kind of spread them out as you need to. They look pretty even though. I think they look more even before I tried to make them even. Okay, that looks pretty good. So you see how that just brings that, that black into the center there a little bit and makes more sense with the rest of the black. And then if we wanted, we could add a few of these. Now I don't know if I have the right color, but I might have the right color. Like, you know, you could put like a pearl there. I don't know. I think less is more here. If I was going to add any more pearls, I think I would probably add the white ones because, you know, this is just, let's just put a couple up and see what they look like. If we even need them. I don't even know if we need them, honestly. You know, if we put one here, I don't think we need them. I don't think we need them. I think it's just gonna make, well, it's not bad. It's not bad. Actually, I kind of like this. Let's just go with it because it looks very like stately. See where I'm going? Let's turn this over. Kind of fills in the whole circle idea where you just have kind of that pearl look around the outside. I think that's pretty. I'm gonna do it. Maybe a bigger pearl down here. And a bigger one up here. Sometimes I don't know what to use the bigger pearls for, and this is a perfect occasion where a big one might be just perfect. Like the big ones, or did you like the other ones? I think, yeah, you know, my mother had pearls. She liked pearls. And so having the pearls on there might be very sweet, very pretty. We can even just go closer to the medallion. Let's go with the smaller one again. And I'll just glue those down. You know, so it's kind of accenting around the outside there. All right, let's do it. Okay. Put one there. Well, that was about 1,000 times more glue than I needed. Let's just get that glue up there. We don't need all that. There we go. Okay. That looks pretty good right there. Press it down. Apparently I don't do that very well, where I hold it up. I need everything to be done with my right hand. I'm supposed to be creative, and left-handed people are supposed to be creative, but I can't do anything with my left hand, so it's not that I didn't try. So are you guys liking this medallion? I think it's a great part of Master Layouts 14 that, you know, you can use in so many fun ways. I love it. Okay, and one more. Get out of there. It's also kind of fun to use the white pearls. I don't use them very often. I use so many of the metallic ones, but the mix of the black and the white together I think is really pretty. And then this one. So you've got some really fun ways to use this medallion image And again, I do think maybe a little leaf up here would be good, maybe coming out of the top or something. So I might add that. I think I'm gonna before I post these pictures. Well, anyway, that is how 2 ways to use that medallion design from the Master Layouts 14. Had to get that card in today. All right, everybody. Well, we are going to give away a $15 gift card to Gina K Designs to one lucky commenter out there. And you can save that because next Tuesday night is our release party. And we've got new stamps, a brand new kit, and a brand new Master Layout set coming too, which I think you're going to love. Kind of plays a little bit on Master Layouts 14 too. So you'll be able to mix and match, and I think you're going to like it. All right, Tom. So do we have a winner?
Drum roll, please. Here is the winner of the gift card for today. Sheila Velarde.
Sheila! Yay! Congratulations, Sheila. Send your name and your email address to info@ginakdesigns.com and we will send you a $15 digital gift card that you can use whenever you want. All right, everybody. Well, this was so much fun today. Tom, your words of the day actually were very cute. I didn't mean to throw a sponge dauber at you.
Yeah. I didn't know you were that good.
I know, I really nailed it. Oh, and Tom and I will be back next Tuesday night with our brand new release. Starts at 7 o'clock Central Time. We'll be joined by some of our illustrators. We'll be making a project from the brand new kit, and I have so many fun things to share. So I hope you'll join us then too. In the meantime, stay safe and healthy, everybody. We love you all so very much. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.